The hardware hacking is a little bit like a comet. It's an idea in music that comes back. In the 90s and the beginning of the noughts, the computer was ascendant, as we say. I mean, everyone was using computers for everything. But there are some people who still want to work with sound in a physical way. So I designed a course in my art school where I teach that was a response to this need. And it was about taking a lot of very simple electronic technology that I felt anyone could understand and update it. And that's where the hacking started. And basically it emphasizes two things: performance, creating instruments that make electronic sound that are very performable, with your hands, with light, with gesture. And the other is listening. We make a lot of alternative microphones that let you hear the world in a different way. We say a lot of noise for a little money. I think most of the people who I know who have taken these workshops have either come from visual arts or from pop or independent music. It's much rarer to find, say, conservatory students. I think the visual artists who work with it tend to be more experimental. They don't have a sound vision, you know? Most of the things I put into the workshop have a high degree of indeterminacy in them. Unpredictability. I think visual artists and pop musicians accept this more than a lot of composers. A lot of composers want to control with some degree of accuracy. And I think that's a bit of a struggle for some.
Oh!
Well, I can show a small circuit. I have here, it's an oscillator. It's controlled by light. And for this piece that I do, I have a candle burning in the middle. And as the candle flame goes like this, it changes the sounds coming out of here. And you get very beautiful, unstable textures, a little like bad heavy metal guitar solos. Well, the piece began as a performance piece, as an in memoriam piece for a friend of mine, Michel Weisfitch. And he died quite tragically. And I got the news one night, and the next day I was doing a performance. And so this piece just came to me as I was doing the sound check. So that's an example of something. And as you can tell, this is not like a synthesizer keyboard. I cannot play a scale on this, right? I can only play noise textures, right? And I can make adjustments, but it's very rough, yeah? Yeah, not a very deterministic instrument. This is sort of typical of what you get with hardware hacking. Inside this box is a very simple, here, let me open it. A very simple electronic circuit, yeah, that connects through these wires to this, okay? Play. Then we're doing a piece that grew out of the workshops. I take a dead circuit board that would otherwise be thrown in the garbage, and I bring it back to life like Frankenstein and create a sort of a complex oscillator. Then I have a talking piece. I think it came from reading to my children when they were very small and learning how to read to make them go to sleep. So maybe I try to do that with my audience. I try to make them go to sleep instead of throwing things at me. This piece, the text is completely improvised. The only rule is that I cannot think about the text before I walk on stage. So it has to be completely spontaneous. There's a computer program that looks at the vowel formants and the inflection of my speech and creates a sort of a cocktail lounge meets Charles Ives piano accompaniment.
Well, certainly every musician knows it's not about saying it louder. You sit in a pub for a few hours. You don't need to know the words to ask for a beer. You just have to know how they're shaped.
I don't like fixing things. I don't like finalizing a work. I actually like being on stage and having that adrenaline that comes from not being 100% certain what's going to happen. And obviously, a pianist doing Bach also has that adrenaline because he doesn't know if he's going to slip a note. But I think that I want to push it to a higher level of interaction with instability.